Welcoming into the studio my boss of radio, Luke Weston. Kia ora, good morning.
Kia ora, good morning. Thank you very much for having me.
Except that while you're here, I am just going to announce on air, you didn't know I was going to say this, but you got a new job.
That's right.
Luke is our new CEO. Congratulations.
Hey, thank you very much. What an honour.
Yeah.
I don't start till the 9th of September.
You don't. You're going to be awesome.
That's exciting.
But you have been a great boss, and I'm a bit sad that I won't be a direct report now. But I'm so happy that you're sticking around, and I think it's so good for Rhema Media. So
yeah, no, it's exciting season.
Very cool indeed. Speaking of exciting seasons, 30 years of the Word for Today. How profound is that?
Amazing. Yeah, for us in New Zealand and Australia, 30 years is actually celebrated next year.
Okay.
But it's 30 years in the UK.
Gotcha.
30 years since Bob Gass went, you know what? This devotional that I've been writing just for myself could actually be something that people received and could be useful for kind of funding Christian radio and Christian media around the world.
It's a little bit useful. I remember hearing, I think it may have been our mate Gary Hoogfleet did an interview with him once actually, and that Bob Gass actually said, not every day is for you, but it's for somebody. And I've definitely experienced that where whether I'm here in the studio and it plays out on the radio or I'm looking at it on my phone or reading the booklet and you just go, bang, that was a word of God for me. And how profound that that's just happening around the world, right?
Yeah, it is amazing. And of course, Bob Gass went to be with the Lord a few years ago, but he had been able to get 7 years of the Word for Today in advance. So there's this amazing catalogue of things that have been written and all of this revelation and inspiration. His wife, Debbie Gass, manages it now, and they have a whole team. They're based out of Atlanta. But I think that's amazing too, that something can be written years in advance, and yet God still makes an appointment, a divine appointment, to do something profound in your life when you hear it, when you receive it. And that just happens time and time again.
Yeah, when you put it like that, is pretty profound indeed.
Yeah, it's amazing. And you think of all the incredible lives that have been changed over those 30 years. It will be literally millions of people that have read it, that have enjoyed it, and some incredible stories. I remember meeting a man who was a very, very wealthy Nigerian. He owned a bank in Nigeria, a Christian guy, and he decided that he would pay for the Word for Today to come to Nigeria himself.
Wow.
And I think there was about 2 million copies that they distributed every quarter. And you think about the impact in Africa. You think about the impact that's happened in the United Kingdom, Australia, New Zealand, the Philippines. It's gone into so many countries, and it's just amazing. What a legacy.
And how did we get connected with it all those years ago?
Well, if anyone listening from back then knows the story, Bob Gass had the idea, and then there was a sort of a group of very faithful men. Hal Short was one of them, a great New Zealand guy who was the first general manager of Rhema in New Zealand. Also Ian Mackey, who was the CEO of UCB in the UK. Gary Hoogfleet was involved in I think the idea to record it for radio. But at first they just decided, hey, let's publish this thing.
Yep.
Let's give it away for free.
See what happens.
Let's give it away for free and then ask people whether they would support the ministry through it. So it was always designed to pay for, not the devotional, but pay for Christian radio.
Yeah.
So that was always the heart, was Christian radio around the world. But the financial model was the Word for Today. And then from there, the Word for You Today, which became the youth version, started in the UK. That's gone around the world as well. And it's an incredible story.
Yeah. And I know from the feedback that we get, even just from Star, right, that's some of the top feedback that we get from people about what they enjoy about our content, isn't it? That they love the Word for Today.
Yeah, and that's what we were just talking about, Isaiah 54:17, that 55:11. I've got to get my Isaiahs right. When the word of God goes forth, it won't return void, but will accomplish that which I've purposed it to do. It will be successful. So I love that. We send this devotional out. It impacts the people that read it. Then it impacts the audience that hear it. then it impacts the people that pick it up in the months and the years that follow just by accident. It's pretty amazing. And I think, this is the same as what happens with the radio content as well. It's like you just do your show and you put a lot of work and your heart into it, but it's God that partners with the content and just embeds it into somebody's heart, into somebody's circumstance, into somebody's situation. And that's where the lives are changed.
Yeah. And so this month of August, which we're sort of already halfway through almost, we've got the Word for Today appeal, really, haven't we? Tell us about that, Luke.
Yeah, well, this is the first time that we've done this, and we'd like to raise $200,000 to support the work of the Word for Today and the Word for You Today, the youth version as well. So, yeah, if you've been blessed by the Word for Today and you don't give as a regular supporter of that devotional, did you know that it is actually the most read publication in New Zealand?
What?
It's apparently the most minutes spent in any publication in the whole of New Zealand is the Word for Today. Bigger than the Listener, bigger than the TV Guide.
Yeah.
Amazing, eh?
That's really cool.
Yeah, this is a thing that goes out to 300,000 New Zealanders every quarter. It makes profound impact. It's a massive ministry, and if you can spare a few dollars and support it, then you can find all those details at star.net.nz.
Yeah. One thing I do really love about it, the way the Word for Today, I mean, like you say, it is similar, the same as radio, how it can reach into people's lives, all sorts of people in all walks of life, right? So people in hospitals and prisons and schools and at home, just everywhere. It's the reach that it has to bring comfort, but also as an evangelical tool, right? It's like, oh, what? I can, it talks, I can say a prayer and the sinner's prayer and, things like that it writes about in the Word for Today. There's something for everyone in it.
Yeah, I think that's amazing. And, you go right back to the Great Commission, go out, make disciples of all nations, baptizing them in the name of this Father, Son, and Holy. Know that I'm with you always, even to the ends of the earth. And I think, isn't it amazing that something like the Word for Today does the work of spreading the gospel so well, so powerfully, and all we have to do is make sure that it's financially strong and that it's supported and that it lasts.
Yeah. Now, if you're someone who believes in the Word for Today, it's touched you, you believe in it, you want to support it, you can head to wordfortoday.co.nz. That's wordfortoday.co.nz, or you can phone 0508 003 003. That's 0508 003 003. Luke, get your name right. Should know it by now, shouldn't I? Luke Weston, thanks for your time today.
Thank you.
Thanks for joining us today. Make sure that you like, subscribe, and turn on your notifications so you can catch all our interviews on Star. See you next time.